Hey there, happy Monday. Thank you for joining me here tonight. We are going to start stitching our koala quilt label onto the koala quilt. I got my cute little koala shirt on and we got some other cute koala things because this week is the koala auction week. And I have a link down below to get to the auction page. So thank you guys for joining me here tonight. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for the beginning crafter. And I'm here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, and it's a time that we can relax and craft together. I'm here for about an hour, and I work on projects from beginning to end, so you can be part of the whole process along the way. And one of the projects that we started in January was our koala, like our community koala quilt. So everyone, like a whole pile of you guys, stitched together these little koalas, and then the money that we collected from the pattern and bundle sales of these, we donated to Australians for Animals, and then we made a quilt out of all of these. There's a really cute video. There's a link below to the video of my mom and I making the quilt, like assembling it all and quilting it. And we are auctioning off that quilt this week. And that money will also go to Australians for Animals. So be sure to check the penguinandfish.com/koala-quilt. There's a link below to that if you want to participate in the auction. And we also have some super cute, fun other koala items, and I'll show you guys that. And then we will get working on this label. This is going to be the week that we officially get this quilt done. I just wanted to also let you know that another way to donate just this week is through super chats. So if you are on YouTube, underneath the live chat box, there's like a little $sign. If you click that, you can donate money, and I will take everything collected this week and also donate it to Australians for Animals along with the rest of these donations. So thank you guys again for participating in this. It's going to be so neat this week to look over the quilt again and see all your koalas. And we have another little koala project that we're going to do later as well. So thank you guys again for joining me. Here we go. All right, so I have to show you these other adorable things that we got. So we got some mugs, and look at this onesie. Isn't this the freaking cutest thing ever? So along with the shirt that I'm wearing, it comes in a few different colors, and then our little onesie here, which is a few different colors as well. And then we have our two mugs. We have our Koala Love mug. This is the embroidery design, and it's on both sides there. Little Koala Love in the center with the blue. So we have that, and then we also have our commemorative mug, and this is a photo of part of the actual quilt. So a few of your koalas are there, and then we have like the info on the quilt on the back. And so that if you're right-handed, you can look at that's like special because it's towards you. And then the cute little koalas there. So these guys, the shirt that I'm wearing and the onesie, actually also the pattern. So we have the pattern and the bundle of the pattern that has the floss and everything in. All of those are anything purchased of these things will go with the donation of when we sell the quilt, when we auction off the quilt. So I just had to share these guys came in the mail today, and these guys came over this weekend, and oh god, this is like the cutest thing ever, just saying. All right, I'm gonna put these behind me so I don't bust them. But yeah, and I know some people ordered some of this stuff already, so thank you guys so much. We have the quilt here. I'm going to open that up a little bit later, and we're going to work on this guy. So Shirley actually gave us one more of these embroideries. So there's actually going to be a total of 127 of these koala embroideries in the quilt. So I actually kind of want to I don't know, sew these two things together so they'd kind of be like so. And so this will be kind of the finished quilt label. So I think we need to cut the edges. Obviously we need to for sure cut the edges of this. I'm trying to think of the best strategy to do that, but I think why don't we start off by ironing? That's a good idea. So I'm going to sew these two together, and then I have some scrap fabric. I'll sew it to the back, this to the back, turn it right side out, and then we'll have a nice finished edge. And then that's what I will hand stitch to our quilt. And it's going to be on this pretty yellow part of the back of the quilt. There's a little guy peeking from there. So I will open this up to when we get that far. I'm going to scooch it over here for now. Oh my gosh, it's so heavy, you guys. That's what a big quilt will get you, though. So it's just queen size, too. Yep, 127 of these fellers. Valeria, I saw that. Thank you so much. So Valeria donated. We do have we have an extra donate now, or donate extra listing along with the pattern and all these other things too. And I know a lot of you guys have been doing that. A lot of you have been donating more, and that's just so incredible. I am just over the moon about how generous you guys are. It's just crazy. Kimberly says, ironing first, always good. Yep. This has got a little crease in here, but I think we'll just be able to live with that. All right, here's our quilt label. Squish that a little bit. I think I might as well just press the little back piece too. So this is just some scrap muslin I had laying around, and my idea is that I'm gonna sew them together, sort of like right sides out, and then cut a hole in here and flip them. And then we should have like a nice finished edge right away. So I am going to need a little bit of this. I have a big piece of this, but let's just get just enough of it pressed. Just, I don't know, because it feels a little bit better with it pressed. Okay, there we are. That can go to the side for now. All right, so I'm going to get the cutting mat out. I think maybe we get like one nice good edge. Well, let's just get a ruler out. How about that? I think let's get the square ruler, just because then we can see. So, I'm going to need a 1/4 inch at least here. And I don't want it like right up against the edge. So I actually probably want, however, this seems like the shortest amount. Let's see how big that is from the edge. Okay, so it's just a 1/2 inch. And this is straight enough. I suppose let's clean it up just a hair, but I'm going to have like this as my main edge, I think. And we'll cut this guy separately. I was thinking I could layer them on top of each other, but I don't have much of an edge here, so I kind of want to get this okay. So let's just clean that up. Not really anything there to cut, but we'll get some fuzzles out of our hair there. Okay. Hopefully it'd be nice if this was like a normal size. So let's see. 1/2 inch. I would like to get this area to be about 1/2 inch too. Ugh, this is that horrible ruler that I can't measure anything with. Okay, so it's about a 1/2 inch already, but not quite. Ugh, all right. This is going to be super annoying. You know what? I'm going to go this way. I'm telling you, I don't like that ruler. It's going to have to be... I'm thinking that ruler that I've been talking about needs to get on my Christmas list, just something with more lines on it. I don't especially like this one either, but I want that 1/2 inch, and this one actually has 1/2 inch lines on it, so that's an improvement. So this is about a 1/2 inch already. Maybe I'm not going to touch that. So let's, even though it's a little crooked, but all in all, I don't think that'll ruin things for us. I can get like maybe a little bit off, so let's do that. I'd like it to be straight too, so maybe we can get it on some decent lines here. It's still going to be a little weird down here, but it also doesn't have to be perfectly square, I suppose. Let's cut right here. We'll get a little bit of an edge off of it. Oh, Kimberly, sorry, I have a hard time looking up when I'm doing cutting stuff. So, I don't know, this was a fun project. I really enjoyed this. This is kind of the first, like, charity group project thing that we've done, and it's been really nice. I've enjoyed doing it for sure. So, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see if we do another one of these in the future. So, I'm trying to cut this 1/2 inch, but all these black parts are in there. I'm going to maybe make it a hair less than a 1/2 inch. We'll go right here. The little black parts will be in the seam allowance, so I think we'll be okay. And then I want to get this top part as well. I think I'm kind of using my mat as a guide to keep this thing square, but it's gonna ultimately be whatever it's gonna be. About like so. Okay, now we got a decently cut piece here. Oh, Brenda's wondering. It's kind of like that. So this is a rotary cutter. So you can cut fabric just with the scissors and everything, but once you get going in quilt world, you'll start wanting the fun tools to make it easier. And this trio of tools kind of go together. You got your rotary cutter. It is totally like a pizza oven, except for this will cut your finger to the bone. So it's a bit dangerous. That's why it has this safety on, and you'll see me turn that on and off as I go. And then you have your acrylic ruler that's about, I don't know, an 1/8 inch thick, and then some sort of self-healing cutting mat. And those together are like your upgrade from a scissors for getting nice straight lines and stuff. So it's basically a pizza cutter for sure. All right, let's figure out now how we want this guy to go with it. So for sure, we're going to want, you know what, I'm going to do this in a really odd way, I think. For sure, we're going to want it to match up with the lines on this. So I can kind of see through this. I might just put my ruler on these fabric lines again. That's probably a horrible way of doing it, but we're just going to do it in a way that gets it done. So I'm just kind of centering this guy on here, like where I might want him up here. And I am literally going to just go over my cut lines again. This is just so silly, but I think it'll get the job done, you know? So I think we're going to just run with it. Let's chop this one off. Yeah, I can't believe we got 127 koalas for this quilt. It is just so exciting. So let me know if you guys watched the video of my mom and I stitching up the quilt. I'm going to just make sure I'm straight by putting this on a rule line. John worked on that video. Oh, John says hi to everyone, by the way. He told me to tell everyone hi. But he made that video over the weekend, and I just love how it came out. It's just so cute, I think, and definitely shows the process of us making the quilt. this is that side that's a little goofier, but we'll just go right here. Kathy, I have a link to the video. It's like in the third paragraph in my description. It's a YouTube link. And I'll post it. I'll post it more coming up too, but it was just so fun to do. All right, we're going to continue that weird way of doing this, I think. So there, we're kind of lined up enough. So I'm thinking we probably don't need a ton above, you know, right kind of where this fold line is. At first I was thinking, oh, we'll do another whole square, but it's kind of cute, just cropped a little bit like that. So I think I might actually use this line, this edge again, and just cut here. I think we have enough for a 1/4 inch on each side, so that should be fine. Oh my god, I am just cutting this in the most awkward way today, but you know what? It's gonna work, and it's making me happy. So we do have a little bit more black there from the printing of this label, but again, I think that will just kind of disappear. All right, I'm going to scooch this up just a hair. I think that'll disappear into the seam allowance. Okay, let's cut across. There, so I will get rid of that piece, and I kind of left enough space here for a 1/4 inch seam allowance, so we'll lose a 1/4 inch on each side there. And then this top as well. Let's trim that. So here once it's sewn together, it'll be more like this. Let's get square on one of these edges again. And I think just, like I said, kind of where this line is, and then we'll lose a 1/4 inch again. So I'm going to just go maybe a little higher than that. Yeah, we'll go right here. It works. That's all the cutting we really have to do. We'll sew this, and then actually we have to cut out our extra piece. But all right, let's do it. So next up, I'm going to sew these guys together, and then that'll be our front label, basically. And then we'll do our little assembly to this back piece, and we'll be ready to stitch. I want to hand stitch this onto the back of the quilt. So I will get rid of my sewing machine. I'll make room for the quilt, and we'll open the quilt up and get this positioned and pinned onto the back. And we'll do that. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Valeria. Thanks for popping in. Oh, Valeria says, your video was awesome and I fell in love with your mom. Well, that's not hard to do. But that's nice. Yeah, she's awesome. All right. I'm going to get over to the sewing machine here. But yeah, you'll get to basically meet my mom. You'll see a little flicker of my dad in there. I think John's in the video, and even Chad wandered in to the video too. So it was pretty neat. All right, I'm gonna get another leader started here. This is just so I can take this off the machine. Ah, Valeria, thank you so much. That's so sweet. So on YouTube, if you noticed, Valeria just did a super chat, which is just amazing. You are just wonderful. But all super chats this week during the auction are going to also be donated to Australians for Animals, like where the money from this quilt auction is going as well. So I appreciate that a ton. All right, let's give this a little press quick. Oop, forgot about him. Snip. It's looking cute. All right, let's press, and then we will trim it out with the back. I think let's actually press it open ultimately. So we'll start on just getting to one side. I don't really want to press on top of the koala too much. So this is kind of awkward. I'm kind of pull it open a little bit, I guess. There we go. And then I'm going to flip it to the back. Let's just press this seam to the other side a little bit, and that will make it easier for us to, it'll stand straight up then, and then we can press it open. I'm just kind of pressing it open just so it's the same thickness on both sides. So this is kind of a large quilt label, right? We haven't really done a quilt label this big, but I think it's going to be cute. It's only going to be attached along the edges, but I think that's okay. It's so sweet, though. I really like how this is turning out. All right, so let's get a piece of this fabric that's the same size. And you know what? I think I'm just going to rotary cut that again, and then we'll put both sides together and sew them together, and we will have our label getting going. Again, I'm just going to just kind of rush this thing. Not rush, but I'm not really doing any proper quilt measuring or whatever. I'm literally just using the edge of this piece. Feels silly doing it this way, but it's good. All right. Let's get these other edges. So there's lots of different ways to sew a quilt label on as well. I like this way because I do like hand stitching on a label, for one. You could just put like a fusible on the back and fuse it to your quilt, but I don't know. I like the stitching aspect of it. And ooh, I have a little selvage here. That's fine. And it's just that last final touch of hand sewing, which is nice. All right, I'm going to trim a little bit more off of this edge. Okay. Now we should have two pieces that are the same size. Oh, Sally says, I'm going to just read through some of your comments quick here. So Sally says, love the video and love the quilt. That's awesome. Oh, sure. Valeria, I don't know if Valeria is still here, but I just read your comment. I will message you. Is that, oh, it's a tool for cutting pizza. Let's see. Oh yeah, my parents' house. My parents just moved, and oh, that's true. That would make sense, Amy. I could have flipped this over, and then I wouldn't have had to line it up before. Well, that would have been smart. I'm glad. I wish I would have saw that comment first. But you're right. If I would have cut it out like this, then I wouldn't be lining it up again, would I? That was silly. I should have done that, huh? And especially if I might not be making all the sides exactly perfect, too. That would have been smart. Oh, well. So I don't usually pin, but I am going to clip a little bit, just because this is a bigger piece than I'm used to sewing, really, and with the small pieces I don't have to clip as much, but this is a big floppy piece, so I'm going to just throw in a couple pins, or not pins, these are my Wonder Clips. So the plan is I am going to sew, so now right sides are together, I'm going to sew all the way around, and then I'm going to cut a hole in the back piece, and then I will turn it right side out, give it a nice press, and then the edges will be finished, right? And that's what's going to be nice. And then I will hand stitch it to the quilt, but I'll have those nice finished edges already. I won't have to tuck under any unfinished edges. So I'm going to go all the way around here now. And I suppose it doesn't matter what side I start on. Let's just go at the bottom here. Wow, this is big enough that I almost kind of feel like I should have put my sewing table on, which is just my extension table, which just makes like my sewing area, the flat area, out this direction a little bit bigger. Alright, I think that looks good. Oh, but yeah, my parents' house, they just built a new house, and yeah, they have, it's kind of a loft almost in the downstairs, the main area, and so yeah, it's awesome for laying out a quilt. Like I don't have floor. I don't have enough floor size at my own house here to lay out a quilt this big, like a queen size quilt. They're like, my walls are literally not that far apart, basically. So I always do all that quilt sandwiching type stuff at my parents' house if I can. Although that's become very difficult because I can't go there as often because of COVID and everything. It just is a bummer. This whole quilt was done right like at the beginning of all that, like right when we in early March, when we were all just kind of, the news was just starting to talk about it and stuff. What's kind of interesting is, I don't know if you guys caught it, but in that video, there's that one area where I was practicing, trying to figure out what I was going to do for free motion quilting on this. And I was actually practice drawing over the top of one of the first, coronavirus newspaper articles. Like, they were just starting to come out then, and that was kind of a local one. Like, that's like where it was just starting to come to the States, and like, oh, is there a case in our state now, Crazy. It's just crazy town. So I'm glad I was able to go there and do this before we couldn't really go as much anymore. And we're not going for Thanksgiving. John and I will be at home here. So, I don't know. It was fun seeing them in the video at least again. Alright, so we sewed all the way around. I didn't leave a gap or an opening or anything. Let's get our little leaders off of here. Alright, here we are. And, okay, so let's just give the seam just a little press, and then we will cut open the back and turn it right side out. I think this is kind of a fun way of doing this. All right, I'm actually going to get my big scissors out. So now we're going to kind of balloon this out. So I got to kind of try and, it'll be helpful just to grab the seam here. I'm going to grab the seam and see, I'm kind of bubbling out the back. I am going to I'm going to make sure that there's nothing in the way here, and I'm going to snip out the back here. There we go, just like that. And I'm actually going to go in here now and cut out. I'm probably going to cut out quite a bit. We'll leave like a few inches. You really only need to cut a slit down the middle, but I thought I'd clean it up and do a little bit more. The idea is I want my nice clean seams when I'm done here. I think this will do the job. Okay, and the last thing is I'm going to just snip the corners a little bit. We're going to just snip that. That's going to reduce some of the bulk that would have had to fit in this little corner when we turn it right side out. All right, that's that. Let's get rid of these little fuzzles. And now I'm going to just flip this right side out. We'll push out those little corners. I'm going to get my little hemostat thing here, but just to push them out a little bit more. You can use a chopstick or anything that kind of has a dull point. I'm just going to kind of push out this seam a little bit. Just go around the whole edge. Then we'll press this and we'll get it pinned and on the quilt and then start stitching it. Okay, I don't know if I kind of push this seam out. All right, so I'm going to go around now and give it a little press. It's like a little pillow, isn't it? So this doesn't have to be perfect, but what I want is a nice flat edge. We're going to pin this, and then I will be stitching. I'll just be grabbing the top part, just the white part, and stitching it onto the quilt. Got a little close to the edge there. I might be able to actually push that out a little bit. Yeah, I think we're fine. So I might actually trim more of that back away because you can kind of see it through here. I might trim it so it's closer to the seam allowance because otherwise we'll kind of see it a little bit because this is some light fabric that we can see through a bit. But there, now we have a nice clean edge already. I think it's looking cute. I'm going to try and push this side out a little bit more just because it seems like we have a little bit more on this side. Oh, thank you, April. April just did a super chat. I appreciate that. So again, all super chats this week are going to be going to the donation pool with the rest of this. So it'll go to Australians for Animals, along with, you know, I'm wearing that cute little koala shirt, and the koala shirt, the koala mugs, the koala onesies, and the koala patterns. Any purchase of that will go to Australians for Animals as well. Thanks so much, April. I appreciate that a ton. You don't think I'll see this when it's on the quilt, Jennifer? Let's just peek quick. So I think it'll go on this orange part. I don't know. I think you can still kind of see that. I'm going to just trim it a little bit more. That's bothering me for some reason. I mean, it's not going to be the end of the world, really, but yeah. Look how pretty it's going to look on this orange, though. Oh, it's going to look so cute. Oh, I love it on the orange. I do like that a lot. So I'm just going to trim it just a little bit more. I don't really need to do this. And I don't think I'm going to go quite all the way to the edge. Just getting rid of a little bit more of that bulk. All right, well, we're basically done with the sewing machine. So now once I'm done cutting this, I think I'll just move the sewing machine to the floor and we'll open up the quilt. We can peek at it all again, and then we'll flip it over to the back and find just the right place for it. I think it's going to be on the lower left, which I believe is this yellow. And I think it's just going to look so good on the yellow. I think whoever gets this is going to it's going to be just a quilt filled with love for sure. I'm just still amazed at all you guys who made koalas for this. Okay, there we go. It's gonna look so cute. I think that looks a little bit better. Then we don't see like this little window of yellow behind there. Wonderful. Okay, let's move that. Let's move this sewing machine out of the way quick. Give me a moment. I'm in this small little space, so I need all the room I can get. Okay. Put some of this stuff away. All right, let's open it up. Scooch you aside for a moment. Ugh, I gotta show you guys this again. Isn't this so adorable? This is like the cutest thing ever. It's a little onesie. So this is one of the things that we're having as part of this auction. So all the sales, the proceeds from these guys will go to and I just love how that turned out. I got that in the mail over the weekend, and it's just been the cutest thing. Oh, April, you're sweet. All right, so here's the back. Oh my gosh, this is a huge quilt. So it is a queen size quilt. Eehee, look at them, so cute. I love the different sizes. We got some big ones in here, and like I was explaining in the video, I had to make them the same size somehow. So like I just trimmed all of them so how they looked what I thought nicest in like a square. So they were all trimmed different sizes. So like if I wanted to sew this guy next to this guy wasn't quite tall enough. So we put a little sliver of something else in, and then it was tall enough. And all these slivers, all of these kind of slivers that you see through the quilt, those are all from, you know, trimming them out. So I'm sure there's some of this green has got to be somewhere else in the quilt. But like this purple, I think came from this purple guy over here. Oh, this is all folded up. All right, they are just all so freaking adorable. Look, this guy's got little eyelashes. They're all fun. So I have a better picture of this, obviously, on the website, the Koala Quilt website, but I just love them. I think they all turned out so sweet. And yeah, I'm excited to get this label on. So I'm going to flip this to the back again. My table is so small for this. All right. Okay, so this is the lower left-hand corner. Well, it's the lower right-hand corner on the front, but when we go on the back, it's the lower left-hand. And we have this pretty yellow fabric. I'm going to try and get it so it's flat on the table here. I already have my little penguin and fish label on here, and so I want it, the real label to go kind of just down here like this. Oh, that looks like a decent spot, right? Just tucked in the lower left-hand corner on the back. I think that looks good. I think that'll be fine. Yeah, that's far enough away from the edge. I think right there. So, all right, I'm going to pin this to the quilt here, and I'm going to use these little applique pins, I think, and then I'm going to hand stitch this on. We're going to spend time doing that today and tomorrow, so the next couple days. I would actually like to finish this tomorrow, and then Wednesday through Friday, the rest of the time we're on for the auction. I think I'm going to pin a little further in, I think. Just so it holds everything in place, but doesn't get in my way of stitching. I think that's a good plan. But for the rest of the week, I would like to, I'm going to stitch up a little zipper pouch with the koala on. So we're going to make another koala. I don't think we're going to stitch the whole thing. We're going to play around with it a little bit. That'll be a little bit of a surprise. But I'm going to make it into a little zipper pouch, maybe about this big actually. And I'll be giving away that zipper pouch to anyone who purchases anything during this week of the auction. So a pattern, one of these t-shirts, one of the mugs, and that's all on it's in the Koala fundraiser page on the site, but if you go to the Koala Quilt page, they are all on that too if you keep scrolling down. Yep, someone must have asked, thanks Robin for answering, but yes, the pattern and the bundle, which has the fabric and the floss and needle, everything in there, those are both still available, and yes, those donations, those sales will be donated as well. So even if you didn't purchase those during this week, if you purchased over the, since the Koala fundraiser, so since January, really, the sales of that have been or will be donated in this next round. I'm not sure, Betty, if there was or not. I hope so. We'll see. So people have been bidding on the quilt, so I'm so happy about that. That's always the fear. It's like, anyone gonna want this quilt? Or want to bid on it? I would like to think so, but you just never know, right? So that fear got foiled right away. So there have been bids, so that's exciting. I'm happy about that. So this is for sure going to be going to somebody. And the bidding for the quilts, the bidding is actually on eBay, so I do have a link to that on the Koala page on Penguin and Fish, so there's info there, and then click now buttons and you're still there. And it brings you to the auction page, so that's actually where you can bid, is through eBay. This is nice and flat. This is working out well. And yeah, so the money from the auction, as well as all the sales, these koala-related sales, will be auctioned. But it'd be awesome if a koala group or a larger quilt thing would want to get it. Or anyone who wants it, for sure. I'd be super happy, actually, if it went to an individual that way as well. It's a totally usable quilt. I mean, there is a lot of hand-done stuff on it, for sure, but that doesn't mean it can't be used as a real quilt. So you could hang it up as like an art piece, really, or you can actually use it as a quilt. Rebecca, I hope you feel better soon, too. Okay, can't get that one. There we go. Almost done pinning. We do have time to start stitching this tonight, which I'd like to do, because like I said, I would like to get this done by tomorrow. We'll see. I'm not quite sure what my hand stitching speed is. But like I said, I do really like hand stitching this. You wouldn't really want to machine stitch it on at this point because those stitches would show on the front as well. I know some people like using special fusible stuff, and then they can just fuse the whole thing down. Then it's basically like a iron-on patch, really. And that's fine. I just like the stitched look. So we're going to just spend the time. I spent the time stitching all the binding on with you guys and stuff, so I might as well hand stitch this too. Oh, Nolene, that's awesome. Nolene said that she shared the auction with a friend in the UK who's an antique collector with shops in the UK. We definitely will mail it to wherever. So that's, if you're worried about if anyone's worried about not sending it out of the US, I will send it wherever. Okay, I'm looking for some thread to hand stitch. I happen to have this. This is from my Aurifil color collection, which, by the way, the Aurifil Block of the Month came out today as well. So I think it matches kind of perfectly with the back. I think a lot of times you want to match whatever your front applique piece is, but in this case, this just works so well. I think I'm going to use that. And I think I actually might have used that. Oh no, I used a lighter color for the binding. I probably just used whatever I had for the binding. I'm going to use this for this. So let's grab Zeb here. Zeb is our friendly little needle holder here. Zeb, because he looks like a zebra. I'm going to use that straw needle. That's that longer needle, if I can find it in here somewhere. This is all full of embroidery needles. What I really need is my straw needle. Okay, so this is a straw needle, but it's the thicker one. It's a size bigger. Huh. All right, here we go. We'll use this one. I don't think this is my thinnest straw needle, but what I like about these is this one's a little bent, but that's okay. They're long. They're super sharp, and they're extra long. Like they're almost twice as long as a normal needle. So let me just get one of these other. So here's like a comparable sewing needle that's just like a universal needle, or a sharps is sometimes what they're called. And look how much longer the straw or the milliner's needle is. So I like that, and it has a small hole. The extra length is just nice for this hand stitching, I think. Ooh, I can tell I'm going to be clumsy today already. Can't hold these needles. That'll be interesting. Ooh, and we can get the thread conditioner out again. This is going to be fun. All right, I will get you guys right down in here again, too. We are going to hand stitch now. Ooh, without the quilt falling on the floor. Get our big bundle. All right. Oh, Amy says I do both. She fuses it and then stitches it by hand. Oh, that's smart. Oh my God, I can't even get the little thread. There we go. Sheesh Louise. All right, I'm gonna get not a super long thread. I don't know if you guys can even see this. It matches so well. It's like invisible on the back of this yellow. First of all, this is looking amazing on the yellow. I'm really happy that this happened to be here, this piece. Okay, so I'm not going to get a super long piece. I'm probably going to stick to that like 24 inches or so, like what I use for embroidery, because I don't want to be pulling really long with my arm, and I don't want this getting tons of knots and stuff in. And to help with that, I'm going to use my thread conditioner here again. Oh, dang, that's awesome, Noeline. I didn't see it. I haven't looked lately. That's awesome. So that is great. I'm really, really happy that people are bidding on the quilt for sure. Makes me happy that someone, it's going to go to someone who wants it. Okay. I have threaded the needle. It is all invisible because it's all just teeny tiny. And I'm going to tie a little knot in the end. And I'm just going to, here's the end, I'm just going to wrap my needle around that a few times. And then just hold all those loops and pull it through. And that's going to be my little knot. I'm going to hide that as I stitch. So, all right. Haven't done this in a while. Let's see, what direction do we go in? I think I'll hold it like so. And I'm going to come up kind of like in the middle at the start here. So I'm going to go just in the front. I'm going to get really close here for a moment, you guys. Oh, Noeline says it's, okay, yeah, $565 US right now. Oh, that's awesome. All right, so I'm just coming up in, a couple threads of that top fabric piece. And I'm going to kind of just tuck the knot away underneath the fabric. And I'm going to go in the back fabric, just the back. I got to make sure that I'm not going to the front of the quilt. I'm just grabbing some of that back fabric, some of that yellow, and I'm going in that same spot, and that's going to be kind of the start. Kind of lock that in place. And then I'm going to go back in the yellow fabric, but just the yellow fabric, and then I'm going to come up through that front white fabric again. So do you see that? So I'm going just in the yellow, then going about a stitch length away, and then coming up in the white. And that's going to be my second stitch. So right across again, right on the other side, into that yellow, just directly across from this, and then back up through the white. Cool, so we are going to just cruise around this edge like this. So I want to make sure that I'm not bunching it up too much as I stitch, so I'm going to kind of pay attention to the edge here. I'm just going to try and get it comfortable in my hand. And we'll stitch this for a little while tonight, and we'll be ready to go for tomorrow too. Man, I'm wondering, this almost feels a little like I need the thimble. We'll see. We'll see if tomorrow I get the thimble out or not. Yeah, because I am kind of pushing with my finger. This is a thimble project. I'm going to have to get it tomorrow. Ugh, this is relaxing though. This is like stitching on the binding. It's super relaxing. So the auction ends. Oh yeah, perfect. Thanks for posting that, Noeline. The auction ends, Jennifer, on the 23rd at midnight here. So that's Central Time as well. And one thing you can do if you're letting someone know about it or whatever, if they download the eBay app, I think it'll notify, like you can put on like that you're watching a listing, and it'll notify you if someone has bid higher, so then you can check it and do that. I think there's actually apps out there that will automatically bid higher than the person, which is kind of crazy. That's all the fun technology. But yeah, the eBay app, I think, will for sure let you know if the bid's gone up. Oh, that's a good idea. Jenna says I can use the needle minder on the quilt. I wonder if, let me give that a go. So, like right now, would have been nice. So I could just have, here's that needle minder I've been using. I wonder if it's strong enough to go through here. Oh, it totally is. And look, it matches. Yellow on this side and green on that side. That's hilarious. So yeah, so that's my little needle minder. And sure enough, I can store the needle on there for tomorrow. Awesome. That's good because, I don't know, the straw needle is getting away from me and I'm feeling clumsy. Not clumsy, I'm feeling uncoordinated. The postage, unfortunately, isn't free. But if I don't know, we might be able to work something out for that. But yeah, it'll go Priority Mail International. So I think they might give you an estimate on the eBay site of what that would be. All right, now I'm feeling like I'm getting into the groove here. I think tonight we got like 6 minutes or so yet. I think I will go till I'm finished with this thread, and maybe I will get the next thread started. So then tomorrow we can just pick up right away and we will chill here and hand stitch this binding on. Oh my gosh, it's gonna get all done. So we started, like it says on here, we started this quilt January this year, January 25th. And, just so you guys know, I don't know if you looked at the Koala Quilt page that we have on Penguin and Fish, but that real koala on there, the photo of the koala with his poor little casts because he burned his hands, that is an actual koala of one of the koalas that we've helped. So that's from one of the shelters. So The money that we donated already with the pattern funds, so that you guys could make all these guys, has helped that actual koala. So that's just really cool. I'm super just glad we can help. Oh, this is already looking just really sweet. All these little hand stitches. It probably would have looked a little bit more blended in with a white thread, so I think that's true. You should probably go with your applique color, so the top color, this white, would have been better than this orange, but this orange just matched too perfectly to the back not to use. I actually don't know if I have any just pure white thread sitting around here. It would be some version of a tan or something. All right, add this corner here. All right, let's rotate. All right, still just trying to grab that top fabric. Okay, we're almost done with this thread, but it is looking really cute. Like, it just adds another level of just finishedness when it's stitched on, I think. A little more. We'll go a little bit longer to stitch these last little bits on. I think we actually might get up to like maybe here or so tonight. Yeah, what Australians, I know that, let's see, hold on. Yeah, Nolene is saying that most of the koalas are being like returned to their habitats and stuff too now, and now there's rains and stuff again, so thank goodness. So Australians for Animals also works closely with the law side of it all, so they're working hard to protect habitat for the koalas in general, because I guess they were logging and everything during the forest fires, and it's not as protected as what our national forests are as far as logging and stuff goes. So Australians for Animals does a lot to advocate for koala habitat too. I think we'll get this done pretty quickly tomorrow. Not overly quickly, but I think we'll finish it tomorrow is what I'm saying. We still have to go all the way around here, but that's about how much we were doing in binding when we were stitching the binding on here. So I think we'll get it done. And it'll be fun. The rest of the week we'll make that little little zipper pouch with a koala on, and that will go to someone who it'll be a giveaway for anyone who orders anything this week for the koala basically fundraiser. And we got those patterns, those mugs, those cute onesies and t-shirts. I'm wearing the yellow shirt, but it comes in white and a really pretty blue too. Yeah, Jennifer's saying just have to pray for no bushfires this summer. Yeah, that's coming up again for you guys, isn't it? That time of year. That's stressful. I hope it's not anything like it was. Alright, we're getting there. I think we'll do a few more stitches. Got a little farther than I thought actually on this little line. We'll do a few more stitches on this, and then I'll tie it off, just because we're getting to the point where I won't have enough thread to tie a knot anymore. And then I'll go ahead and take out the pins that we've stitched down in that area already. Just because that's one less pin for me to stab myself on then. But this has worked great, like having the pins set back a little bit. This is a technique for sewing on the machine too. Sometimes instead of just pinning on the edge, if you can pin further in, and then you can sew the edge without having to stop for the pins. So that's been nice in this case too. My thread isn't caught on them at all yet either, which is great. But I think this might be my last stitch, because I'm about to lose this thread. So I'm going to go around that spot one more time. There we go, and I think we'll just kind of go in the back a little bit here. Oops, shoot, see, that's what happens when I get too little thread left. I keep pulling it off the needle. There we go. So I'm a little bit behind the fabric. I'm going to just tie a knot here, so then this knot will be hidden. And we'll take out those pins and call it an evening. I'm just going to tuck in that thread, and we'll be good. Oh, and let's get the needle on the needle minder down here so it has a spot. And I think we'll just start fresh. Oops, sorry about that. We'll just start fresh tomorrow with a new piece of thread here, but it's looking super cute. So there we go. We got this far. Doop doop. We should be able to get all the way around there tomorrow. So let's just grab some of these pins off of here right away, and then we'll be all set for some more tomorrow. I think this is looking great. I could totally see doing a label like this again. So to do this, just so you guys know, I made this label at spoonflower.com, and this is you can upload any artwork to them and they'll print it on fabric. You can actually print your own yardage. This is an 8-inch square. That's their sample size. So if you ask them to print a sample, you can order a sample and it'll be 8 inches. So I just made the label that big, and that turned out great. I would do that again for sure. That was a fun way to do it. So Shirley, the shirts go from extra small to 4XL, I believe. I do have it written in the description. I know I don't have a pull-down menu for it. So when you order, just in the message to seller, make sure to tell me what size you want. So there's 3 different colors, and then you just, in the message to seller, at checkout, you just have to let me know. I know it's a little weird. We're actually working on that. So, but for this, you just have to let me know, and we'll order the right one for you. But all right, you guys, this is looking fabulous. Again, here's the other side, all our cute little koalas hanging out here. I'll have to lay this out again too, but this is just going to be just right, this label. It's nice and big too. It feels important because it's an important quilt, so this label makes it feel important too, I think. All right, again, you guys, thank you so much. Here's the koala shirt. This is the yellow, and I'm wearing in a small here. But, so it's just like a normal unisex t-shirt, but it's actually really soft and comfortable. So just, yeah, let me know the size you want in the message to seller, and I'll be sure to get it. Or if you have a question, just write that in the message to seller too, and I'll contact you. But it's so cute. So we have this guy, and then we have the onesie. So here's the little onesie looking just freaking adorable. This comes in the yellow and white as well as this gray, but I just think this gray is kind of cute. And then the two mugs. We have our kind of more generic koala mug that just has the embroidery on both sides, and it says koala love in the middle there. And then we have our specific commemorative one. So it has part of the quilt on there, and then on this side it has the information on the quilt. So this is great if you made one of the koalas, then this is kind of specifically about this quilt. And then if you have a friend that just likes koalas, then this one's a little bit more just about koalas. But yeah, so all the proceeds from all of these things will be going to Australians for Animals. And that's indefinitely. I'm going to keep this page up, the auction quilt page. Even when the auction's done, the page will be up. So if you want to go back, I have the web address on here too. So if you want to go look back at it or see any of the videos, the page will stay. So you can check that out there. And actually, if you order, these things will stay too. And if you order it at any time, I will make sure to donate the proceeds as well. So thank you guys so much for bidding on the quilt. I know there are lots of bids already, and for ordering these things and for making these koalas. This was such a fun project to do with you guys, and I know some of you guys have been asking what are we going to do next. Let's come up with something. This was fun, and yeah, I think it's something we can do again. So great, you guys. Thank you so much. I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for all your donations. Have a great evening. Good night.